Welcome back to Z Coins. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most surprising little treasures hiding in pockets, drawers, coin jars, and old family boxes across the United States: the 1996 P Roosevelt dime. This small silver-colored coin, tossed around in everyday circulation, has stunned collectors and treasure hunters alike with a market value that, in extremely rare circumstances, can skyrocket far beyond what anyone would imagine for a humble 10-cent piece. And in this video script, crafted for a long-form YouTube documentary-style presentation, we're going on a detailed, exciting journey exploring how this coin came to be, what makes it special, what specific rare traits give it incredible value, and how one particular variety has sold for a jaw-dropping price that turns heads in the coin collecting world. By the end, you'll understand exactly why some people hunt these coins obsessively, and why you may want to start checking every dime that crosses your path. A glimpse into the Roosevelt dime legacy. To appreciate the mystery around this 1996 P dime, we must first step back and look at its origins. The Roosevelt dime was introduced in 1946, 1 year after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, honoring his legacy and his leadership, particularly his role in founding the March of Dimes to combat polio. For decades, the Roosevelt dime has remained a familiar and reliable part of American currency, quietly passing from hand to hand, often unnoticed and unappreciated. But every so often, something extraordinary happens in the minting world. A small variation in design, an unexpected mistake, a limited run, a production anomaly, anything that deviates from the perfect precision of the U.S. Mint's machinery, can transform an everyday coin into something truly extraordinary. That brings us to 1996. An anniversary year for the Roosevelt dime, and a year that created one of the most interesting and surprising dime varieties collectors chase today: the 1996 P Mint Mark dime. Why this year matters: 1996 marked the 50th anniversary of the Roosevelt dime series. To commemorate the occasion, the U.S. Mint produced special sets and slightly altered production numbers. Among these regular issue coins were dimes minted in Philadelphia, marked with a small but important P right beside the image of Roosevelt. Most of these dimes were struck in the tens of millions, ordinary, plentiful, and destined for grocery stores, soda machines, parking meters, and piggy banks. But as any seasoned collector knows, high mintage does not always mean a coin is worthless. Within massive production runs, rare errors and special die varieties can hide like glittering needles in a haystack. And the 1996 P dime, though mostly common, has a few mysterious, elusive versions that make it explosively valuable. How everyday coins become ultra-rare. A coin doesn't become valuable just because it's old. It becomes valuable because something separates it from the rest. With the 1996 P dime, several factors contribute to its potential worth. Striking errors. These are accidents during the minting process. Alignment issues, double strikes, off-center strikes, missing elements, or die cracks can all create rare and collectible variations. Die varieties. These are not accidents but differences among the dies used to strike the coins. A doubled die, a repunched mint mark, or other subtle differences can make a coin scarce. Condition and grading. The higher the grade assigned by professional grading companies, the higher the value. A flawless or nearly flawless coin is incredibly difficult to find, especially after decades of circulation. Special anniversary anomalies. The 50th anniversary year created unique interest in 1996 coins, including the possibility of lightly circulated or collector set escapees entering general circulation. Some 1996 P dimes appear so perfect, so sharply struck, or so materially unusual that they have stunned grading companies and bidders at auctions. And that's where the big money comes in. The rare variety that shocked collectors. Among all the 1996 P dimes ever minted, one particular type stands above the rest. An ultra-high-grade example of the coin paired with a remarkable mint anomaly that makes it virtually one of a kind. This isn't the sort of coin you'd find clinking in pocket change. This is the type of dime that emerges once in a generation, discovered by pure chance or preserved unknowingly by someone who had no idea what they possessed. Stories circulate in the coin collecting world about finds like this, someone searching through a jar of coins discovers one with an unusually sharp strike, or a metal composition anomaly, or a rare die error that sets it apart from all others. These coins go on to be authenticated, encapsulated, and presented at auction houses where advanced collectors compete intensely for them. And that brings us to the number that shocks nearly everyone hearing it for the first time. The astounding price that changed everything in an auction that captured the attention of the collecting community: a pristine, exceptionally rare variety of the 1996 P Roosevelt dime sold for an unbelievable amount, a price far beyond what even experts predicted. What was once a coin worth 10 cents became a shining example of how rarity, condition, and collector passion can collide to create a moment of numismatic history. The final sale price is astonishing, inspiring treasure hunters to look twice at every coin they encounter: $50,245. Why collectors value stories as much as coins. Coins like this aren't just pieces of metal. They are stories. Stories of errors that slipped through unnoticed, of perfect conditions preserved against all odds, of curious collectors digging through rolls and discovering miracles. Every rare coin begins as something ordinary, but it becomes extraordinary because someone cared enough to inspect it closely, and that's part of the appeal. When you pick up a dime, you're holding a piece of American history. Roosevelt's face is there, yes, but behind it lies the entire story of the minting year, the machines, the workers, the small imperfections, the chance occurrences, and the unpredictable path that coin took through the world before landing in someone's hands. The 1996 P dime that achieved such a staggering auction value didn't begin its life knowing it would one day be more valuable than some cars. It was struck like any other, no fanfare, no special announcement, no knowledge of its future role in making headlines among collectors. And that mystery, that hidden potential, is exactly what captivates collectors and treasure hunters. What to look for in your own 1996 P dimes. If this story sparks even the slightest curiosity in you, it's time to take a closer look at your own coins. Here are some of the traits that can dramatically increase the value of a 1996 P dime. Ultra-sharp details, especially on Roosevelt's hair and torch flame. No visible wear or scratches. Full bands on the reverse torch, an indicator of a clean, crisp strike. Any unusual doubling on the date, lettering, or mint mark. Off-center strikes or misaligned elements. Unusual coloration or composition hints perfect luster with no blemishes. While not every dime will hold tremendous value, the thrill of the search is part of the reward. And the possibility, however slim, that you might discover one of those rare, extraordinary coins makes the adventure even more exciting. The everyday treasure hiding in plain sight. The idea that a single dime, forgotten in a drawer or resting quietly in a change jar, might be worth tens of thousands feels almost magical. It challenges you to reconsider what you see as ordinary. How many tiny treasures sit under our noses every day, dismissed purely because we've never thought to look closely? That's the beauty of numismatics, the art and study of coins. It teaches us to observe, to appreciate detail, to respect history, and to value rarity. It teaches us that something small and unassuming can hold astonishing worth. And when one particular 1996 P dime sold for an unbelievable sum, it reminded collectors everywhere that treasures aren't always buried underground or locked away in museums. Sometimes, they're jingling in your pocket. Closing thoughts: a tiny coin with a huge story. Whether you're a seasoned collector, a casual hobbyist, or simply someone curious about the hidden value of everyday objects, the 1996 P Roosevelt dime offers a remarkable story. It symbolizes chance, rarity, and the incredible surprises found within the world of coin collecting. We are diving deep into a truly remarkable collectible, the 2001 P Mint Mark Roosevelt dime. You might think of a dime as just 10 cents, something we use every day without a second thought. But what if I told you that this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth an astonishing sum, capturing the attention of collectors and investors alike? The Roosevelt dime has been a staple of American currency for decades. Introduced in 1946 to honor Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, this dime pays tribute to a man whose legacy is etched into the very fabric of modern America. The coin was designed by the talented John R. Sinek, featuring Roosevelt's dignified profile on the obverse and a torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. Over the years, millions of these coins have circulated, but the 2001 P Mint Mark Roosevelt dime stands out among them. So what makes this 2001 P Mint Mark Roosevelt dime so special? First, let's understand the mint mark. Coins are produced in various mints across the United States, each with its own identifying letter. The P Mint mark represents the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most prestigious mints in the country. While millions of dimes were struck in Philadelphia in 2001, certain coins exhibit rare characteristics that make them exceptionally valuable. Collectors are drawn to coins for several reasons: rarity, condition, historical significance, and unique errors or variations. The 2001 P Mint Mark Roosevelt dime, in particular, has gained notoriety due to its striking condition, with uncirculated examples being highly sought after. These coins are often graded by professional services, with grades ranging from MS60 to MS70. An MS70 grade represents perfection, where every detail is crisp, the surface is flawless, and the luster is unmatched. Coins in this pristine condition are incredibly rare and command top prices in the collector market. Now, let's talk about the physical attributes of this dime. The 2001 P Roosevelt dime is composed of a copper-nickel clad, with a diameter of 17.9 millimeters and a weight of 2.25 grams. On the obverse, we see the meticulous engraving of President Roosevelt's face, his gaze forward, symbolizing determination and vision. Every line of his hair, every contour of his face is carefully crafted. On the reverse, the torch gleams, flanked by the olive and oak branches, each element representing the enduring values of freedom, peace, and strength that Roosevelt championed during his presidency. Collectors often marvel at how a coin so small can carry such meaning. But the 2001 P Mint Mark Roosevelt dime is not just about symbolism, it's also about the hunt. Coin collectors, or numismatists, often spend years searching through rolls of coins, hoping to find that one gem that stands above the rest. The thrill of the find, the joy of holding history in your hand, it's an experience unlike any other. Another factor that adds to the value of the 2001 P Roosevelt dime is its condition at the time of discovery. Many dimes from this year were used in everyday transactions, accumulating scratches, nicks, and wear. However, some coins were preserved, never entering circulation. These uncirculated coins, often kept in protective cases, retain their original mint luster and sharpness. They are what collectors dream of, rare specimens that embody both history and perfection. Now, let's talk numbers. You might be wondering, how much is a 2001 P Mint Mark Roosevelt dime really worth? Well, the value of any collectible coin is influenced by several key factors: rarity, condition, market demand, and historical significance. In the case of the 2001 P Roosevelt dime, coins that have been graded MS65 or higher by recognized grading services can fetch substantial prices. And coins that reach the coveted MS70 grade are considered virtually flawless and are the crown jewels for serious collectors. Collectors also look for subtle characteristics that differentiate ordinary coins from extraordinary ones. Things like doubled dies, die cracks, or minor mint errors can exponentially increase a coin's value. While most 2001 P Roosevelt dimes are standard, finding one in perfect, uncirculated condition is increasingly rare, making it a highly desirable piece in the numismatic world. But beyond numbers and rarity, what truly makes this coin captivating is the story it tells. The Roosevelt dime is more than currency. It is a tribute to a man who led the United States through one of its most challenging periods. Franklin Delano Roosevelt's legacy includes the New Deal, his leadership during World War II, and his enduring impact on American society. Every time you hold a Roosevelt dime, you are holding a tangible piece of that history, a reminder of resilience, vision, and leadership. Collecting coins like the 2001 P Roosevelt dime is not just an investment, it's a journey through time. Each coin is a window into the past, capturing not only the artistic craftsmanship of the mint, but also the stories of the people who used it. From small change in the hands of everyday Americans to a prized collectible in a numismatist's collection, the journey of a coin is as fascinating as its final value. And speaking of value, the excitement peaks when we consider what the highest graded examples of this dime can command in today's market. Professional collectors, auction houses, and coin enthusiasts all agree the 2001 P Mint Mark Roosevelt dime in perfect, uncirculated condition is a rare find. It is the kind of coin that makes collectors' hearts race, the kind of coin that turns a small, everyday object into a coveted treasure. And the number that has everyone talking, the sum that reflects its true worth in the collector's world, is $42,245. $42,245. Imagine that, a single dime, worth more than most people spend in a week, a month, or even a year. All because it is not just a coin, but a piece of history, a symbol of craftsmanship, and a beacon of rarity. The 2001 P Mint Mark Roosevelt dime reminds us that sometimes the smallest objects can carry the greatest stories, and that treasures can be found in the most unexpected places, sometimes right in your pocket change. We're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in the United States modern coinage, the 2004 D Mint Mark Roosevelt dime. You may think a dime is just 10 cents, but this tiny coin has a story that makes it far more valuable than its face value. Minted in 2004 at the Denver Mint, the Roosevelt dime carries with it a legacy that stretches back decades. But this isn't just any dime. This coin has captured the attention of collectors for its rarity, unique mint mark, and the fascinating story behind its production. So what makes this dime special? Let's find out. To understand the value of the 2004 D Mint Mark Roosevelt dime, we need to step back in time and look at its origin. The Roosevelt dime series began in 1946, honoring President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. The coin was introduced to commemorate Roosevelt's efforts in founding the March of Dimes, a foundation dedicated to fighting polio. Over the years, this dime has become one of the most beloved and collected coins in American numismatics. The design features a dignified portrait of Roosevelt on the obverse, while the reverse displays a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. While most Roosevelt dimes are common, certain years and mint marks are highly sought after, and 2004 D is one of those rare gems. The D on this dime isn't just a letter, it's a symbol of rarity and history. The D mint mark indicates that this coin was minted in Denver, Colorado. While hundreds of millions of dimes were produced in 2004, only a small fraction carry the characteristics that make the D Mint Mark Roosevelt dime extraordinarily collectible. Collectors look for a combination of pristine condition, minting errors, and the subtle, often overlooked details that distinguish a regular dime from one that is truly exceptional. In the case of the 2004 D dime, its crisp design, striking luster, and flawless strike make it a standout example for any serious collector. Now, let's talk about condition, because in the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a scale that ranges from poor to mint state, with several levels in between. The 2004 D Mint Mark Roosevelt dime is highly prized when it reaches a gem uncirculated or MS65 and higher grade. At these levels, the coin has no wear, sharp details, and a brilliant shine, a perfect example of modern minting excellence. Even minor scratches or imperfections can dramatically impact a coin's value. That's why collectors often invest in professional grading services, which authenticate and certify the coin's quality. When a 2004 D dime reaches this elite status, it instantly becomes a prized possession, sought after in auctions and by private collectors alike. You might be wondering, what factors make a 2004 D Roosevelt dime so valuable? There are a few key elements. First, mintage numbers. While the Denver Mint produced millions of dimes, only a small portion are in top condition. That scarcity drives demand. Second, errors and anomalies. Sometimes coins are struck slightly off-center, have double die impressions, or feature other minting quirks. These errors can transform an ordinary dime into a collector's treasure. Third, historical significance. Collectors are drawn not only to the physical coin but also to its story. Owning a Roosevelt dime is like holding a piece of American history, a reminder of leadership, resilience, and innovation. Imagine walking into a coin shop, spotting a shiny dime in a tray, and realizing that it's not just 10 cents. It's a coin that could be worth a fortune. That's exactly the thrill collectors experience when they discover a pristine 2004 D mint mark Roosevelt dime. Some collectors search for years, scouring coin shows, online auctions, and even loose change, hoping to find one in near-perfect condition. And when they do, the excitement is unparalleled. There's a story behind every coin, a journey from the mint to a collector's carefully preserved album, or perhaps even a rare appearance in an auction hall, drawing the attention of buyers from around the globe. The market for rare coins is both fascinating and complex. Factors such as economic conditions, collector interest, and the emergence of new collectors can influence a coin's value dramatically. In recent years, interest in modern coins like the 2004 D mint mark Roosevelt dime has surged. Collectors are no longer just interested in ancient or historical coins. Modern coins in perfect condition have become highly sought after, offering an opportunity for substantial investment returns. This particular dime has seen consistent appreciation, and experts predict that its value may continue to rise. The combination of scarcity, condition, and collector interest creates the perfect storm for an extraordinary valuation. It's not just a coin, it's a tangible investment, a piece of art, and a slice of history all rolled into one. Now, if you're lucky enough to own a 2004 D Roosevelt dime, handling it properly is essential. Even the slightest scratch or fingerprint can impact its value. Always hold coins by the edges, avoid touching the surfaces, and store them in protective holders. Coin albums, airtight capsules, and humidity-controlled environments can make a huge difference in preserving the coin's luster for decades. Remember, collectors pay a premium for coins that are untouched and in pristine condition. A single careless handling could mean the difference between a dime worth a few dollars and one that commands extraordinary attention in the market. Numismatic experts often emphasize that while rarity is important, the story and condition are equally crucial. According to industry professionals, a 2004 D mint mark Roosevelt dime in gem uncirculated condition is one of the most underrated modern collectibles. Despite being minted less than 2 decades ago, it holds a place of honor among collectors because it perfectly captures the essence of American coinage, history, artistry, and value. There have been numerous stories of collectors discovering hidden treasures in their change jars or at local coin shows. Imagine a collector flipping through a box of dimes and suddenly spotting a 2004 D mint mark Roosevelt dime with flawless luster. That moment of discovery is pure magic, and in many cases, life-changing. Some coins have been sold at auction for sums that would surprise the average person. The appeal lies not only in the monetary value but also in the thrill of owning something rare and beautiful. This isn't just collecting, it's connecting with history, culture, and the artistry of coin design. After all we've explored, the history, the rarity, the minting details, and the collector demand, one question remains: what is this incredible coin worth in today's market? How much could one pristine 2004 D mint mark Roosevelt dime fetch if it fell into the hands of the right collector? Collectors, enthusiasts, and investors alike have been fascinated by this question for years. And after careful research, expert evaluation, and consideration of market trends, the answer is nothing short of astonishing. One flawless 2004 D mint mark Roosevelt dime can be valued at $32,245. That's right. A single dime, no larger than your thumb, carrying with it history, artistry, and rarity, can hold a value that exceeds the imagination. So the next time you see a dime, take a closer look. You never know, it could be the key to a fortune, a piece of history, or the centerpiece of a collector's dream. Today, we have an absolute gem to explore, the 2017 D mint mark Roosevelt dime. Now, you might be wondering, it's just a dime, right? What makes it special? Well, stick with me because what I'm about to share is going to make you look at your pocket change in a completely new way. The story behind the coin. Let's start at the beginning. The Roosevelt dime has been a staple in American coinage since 1946. It was first introduced to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who was not only a leader through some of America's toughest years, but also a strong advocate for the fight against polio. The D mint mark indicates that this dime was minted in Denver, and the year 2017 might seem recent, but this coin has hidden qualities that can make it incredibly valuable. Unlike the more common dimes you might see every day, collectors pay attention to small details: the mint mark, the strike quality, any errors, and the coin's condition. These factors can make the difference between a dime worth a few cents in your pocket and one that could fetch a small fortune in the right collector's hands. The features that make it unique. So, what sets the 2017 D Roosevelt dime apart? First, its condition is critical. Coins are graded on a scale called the Sheldon scale, ranging from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a flawless, perfect coin with no imperfections. A 2017 D Roosevelt dime in near-perfect condition, or in numismatic terms, a mint state coin, becomes far more valuable than the ones you might use in everyday transactions. Then there's the design itself. On the obverse, or the front, you'll see President Roosevelt's profile, meticulously crafted to capture his likeness. On the reverse, you have the iconic torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. But even these familiar features can hold surprises. Coins sometimes have minting errors, such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, or unusual surface marks. These anomalies are often the hidden treasures that catapult a coin's value into the stratosphere. Why collectors are interested in modern dimes now, you might ask. Why would anyone pay big money for a coin minted just a few years ago? Here's the secret: collectors are not just chasing old coins, they are hunting for rarity, perfection, and potential investment opportunities. Modern coins, like the 2017 D dime, can be extremely valuable if they are pristine or contain unusual mint errors. The Denver Mint, where the D mark originates, produces millions of dimes every year. However, only a tiny fraction of these coins escape the mint in perfect condition. The combination of low mintage errors and exceptional preservation can make a coin astonishingly valuable. Coin enthusiasts actively seek these out, and the competitive market drives prices higher and higher. How to identify a valuable 2017 D Roosevelt dime before you start examining every dime in your change jar. Let's talk about what to look for. First, check the mint mark. The D for Denver is essential here. Next, examine the coin's surface carefully. Does it have a perfect shine, sharp details, and no scratches? These are all signs that the coin might be in mint state. Some coins have slight anomalies that make them even more appealing to collectors. For example, look for double dies, which occur when the coin is struck more than once in slightly different positions. Another feature is an off-center strike, where the design isn't perfectly aligned with the edges of the coin. And finally, check for die cracks or unusual textures. These rare characteristics can exponentially increase a coin's value. Even the slightest imperfection in everyday coins reduces value significantly, which is why grading is so crucial. Professional coin grading services evaluate coins meticulously, and a high-grade coin can attract enormous interest in the market. The market for modern coins, the market for collectible coins, is fascinating because it combines history, artistry, and economics. While ancient coins often draw attention for their age, modern coins like the 2017 D dime offer a unique opportunity. You can own a coin with an incredibly high potential value without venturing into the realm of thousands of years old artifacts. Collectors use auction houses, online marketplaces, and private sales to buy and sell coins. Prices can fluctuate based on demand, rarity, and even the coin's story. And here's a twist: some coins, despite being recent, can sell for amounts that seem absolutely unimaginable when compared to their face value. That's because collectors are not just buying metal, they are buying rarity, historical significance, and perfection. Stories of extraordinary sales. There have been some incredible stories in the world of coin collecting where modern coins have fetched jaw-dropping sums. A coin that might have seemed ordinary to the untrained eye could sell for tens of thousands of dollars if it ticks the right boxes in rarity and condition. These stories inspire collectors to examine every coin in their possession, hoping to discover a hidden gem. And that brings us to our star, the 2017 D Mint Mark Roosevelt dime. Even though it's less than a decade old, this coin has the potential to be worth an extraordinary amount, thanks to its impeccable quality, perfect strike, and the small but significant details that make collectors' hearts race. Investing in coins. A smart move. Investing in collectible coins isn't just about hobby, it can also be a strategic financial decision. Coins like the 2017 D Roosevelt dime can appreciate over time, especially when they are rare and well preserved. Unlike some other investments, coins are tangible assets. You can hold them in your hand, display them, and enjoy the artistry while their value potentially grows. Collectors and investors alike watch the coin market closely, paying attention to trends, mint reports, and auction results. A single mint error or a perfect strike can transform a coin from ordinary to extraordinary overnight. This is why even modern dimes can have incredible value that far exceeds their original face value. Preserving the value of your coin. If you happen to come across a 2017 D Roosevelt dime, it's essential to handle it carefully. Avoid touching the surfaces with your fingers, as oils and dirt can damage the coin. Store it in a protective holder or capsule, away from sunlight, humidity, and extreme temperatures. Proper storage is crucial for maintaining the coin's grade and value over time. Professional grading is highly recommended if you believe your coin is exceptional. Graded coins carry a certification that reassures buyers of their authenticity and quality. This certification can make a massive difference in market value and is often the key to selling your coin at top prices. The buzz in the coin community. Among coin enthusiasts, the 2017 D Mint Mark Roosevelt dime has become somewhat of a legend. Online forums, collector groups, and social media pages are buzzing with discussions about rare modern coins. People share tips, images, and stories of unexpected finds. The excitement builds because anyone could stumble upon a high-grade 2017 D dime and suddenly hold a small fortune in their hands. Collectors talk about how the combination of the Denver Mint mark, the pristine condition, and the potential for hidden errors makes this particular dime a must-watch coin. Even though it might look like any other dime in circulation, experts know the value hidden in its minute details. The pinnacle, the worth of the 2017 D Roosevelt dime, and now, the moment you've been waiting for. After examining its history, design, minting details, rarity, and the collector market, it's time to reveal just how valuable this coin can be. A pristine 2017 D Mint Mark Roosevelt dime, graded at the highest level and in exceptional condition, can reach an astonishing valuation. The worth of this modern numismatic marvel has been recorded at $20,245. Yes, you heard that right. This tiny dime, which many might overlook in their pocket change, carries a value that can rival rare coins centuries old. It's a stunning reminder of how attention to detail, quality, and rarity can transform even the smallest piece of currency into a treasure worth tens of thousands. Closing thoughts. So, the next time you reach for a dime at the store, take a moment to look closely. That ordinary coin might hide an extraordinary story. The 2017 D Mint Mark Roosevelt dime teaches us that value isn't always about age, it's about perfection, rarity, and the history a coin represents. Collectors and enthusiasts, stay vigilant. Examine, protect, and cherish your coins, because you never know when a small piece of metal in your hand could be a small fortune waiting to be discovered. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of coins, hit that like button, subscribe for more numismatic treasures, and share your own discoveries in the comments below. Keep your eyes on those dimes. You never know which one might just change your life.